My name is David Delano with Winners and Whiners.com. NFL season right now is the big thing going, college football as well. What I want to do here is talk about the NFL. I know a lot of you guys may be struggling the first couple weeks of the NFL season. What I want to do for this particular video is not particularly give out a free pick myself or highlight myself, but I want to we do have a leaderboard. Everything's completely transparent with winnersandwhiners.com. But I do want to point out some of the guys who have been really excelling on the leaderboard, particularly in week 2. There's also a 40% off promo code in the description of this video if you want to use that on the premium picks or best bets for anybody on the site. I know that we mentioned that I mentioned a lot that we have a team of handicappers, but you really see myself, Scott Reichel, and Scott Steen on most of these videos. Loud Esmond does a great job with the betting on the break on the weekends. Andrew Champagne coming on board is going to have more free picks in the future. And Joe Duffy recently having some videos as well. But there's a lot of handicappers as well that you don't see. So I want to talk a little bit about what happened week 2. And also, we're going to look at some of these early lines for week 3, some games that you may want to get ahead of or some that you may want to wait on depending on where you stand. And once again, there's a 40% off promo code in the description. For the most part, week 2 was not my best week. Fell on the Whiners side, not the winner side. I was 2-3 overall. The silver lining for me, I rate my plays percentage-wise between 1 to 5%. All my losses were on 2% plays. I did step out on a 5% max best bet, which won in the first half as I had over the total in the game between the Cowboys and the Saints. But playing it straight up, I was 2-3, although I did cash on my max best bet. But let's go ahead and look at the leaderboard overall for week 2. So underdogs went 10-5-1 against the spread in week 2 and 8-8 straight up. And who excelled week 2? We had Mark Lawrence, 4-0. Mark Lawrence and Rob Vincelletti went 4-0. You can check out their premium picks and best bets if you want to for this week 3 that's going to be coming up. Mark Lawrence cashed with the Atlanta Falcons +7. He cashed with the Cincinnati Bengals +6. The Minnesota Vikings +5 and the Cleveland Browns +3. So Mark Lawrence played 4 underdogs against the spread, and he cashed with all 4 of those underdogs. His picks are available on winnersandwhiners.com. And also had Rob Vincelletti. Rob Vincelletti also had a perfect 4-0 week in the NFL. He took the Bills early in the week with the points. He also was on the Los Angeles Chargers. He also cashed with the Chiefs and the Bengals going over the total, and the Bears and the Texans going under the totals. You also had Mark David going 6-2 at +381. That's if you flat bet everything at $100 a bet. David Hess going 6-2 at +377. And the Insider Room going 6-2 at +372. So those are all some guys that you may want to take a look at. Let's go ahead and briefly take a look here at some of these lines here for week 3. And you want to get ahead of some of these. I do have a college football max best bet already up on the site that I posted on Tuesday. I think it's a game that we want to get ahead of. And some of these NFL games you may want to get ahead of as well. I have 3 picks in the system already for the NFL. As we look at Patriots and the Jets, that game going on Thursday right now. The Jets opened up as a 7-point favorite. It's down to 6.5. The total in that game opened up at 40. Right now it's down to about 30. Depending where you're doing your shopping, it's in that 38 to 39 range. Most books having it at 38.5. The Chargers and the Steelers, pretty substantial move there on the total. Opened up at 38.5. Right now it's down all the way to 35.5. Steelers opened up as a 2.5-point favorite. Now it is down to 1. Without going through every game, I'm going to mention some of the games with some of the more substantial line changes. Houston Texans opened up as a 3.5-point favorite against the Vikings. That one is changing. That one is moving fast. Texans now at some places down to a 1-point favorite. If you like the Texans, I think now is a good time to jump on it, as the Vikings have been getting hammered. Browns and Giants pretty consistent at about 6.5. I did see some sixes popping up for the Browns, but right now about 6.5. The Eagles and Saints has seen a dramatic shift. Saints opened up as a 2.5-point dog, now already a 2.5-point favorite. Broncos and Bucks, not a lot of movement there, with the Bucks being a 7-point favorite. Let's see here. We had the Chiefs and the Falcons. Chiefs opened up as a 4.5-point favorite. Right now it's at about 3.5. It'll be interesting to see if that number does go to 3, or if it goes up to 4. A lot of what I'm seeing early on, as far as teams that are really getting hammered, Monday Night Football, the Cincinnati Bengals, and obviously every sports book's a little bit different. You got different places for resources, but I'm seeing about 95% of the early money and tickets coming in on the Bengals. They were -7, now all the way up to about -9. Right now, most of the teams that are getting hit the hardest, money-wise, it's like the Chargers, as we saw that big line move. Chargers are getting hit hard. The mentioned the Bengals are getting hit hard. Buffalo Bills moved from -4 to 5.5. They're getting hammered pretty hard as well. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All of those teams right now getting about more than 80% of the early money there. So just some things to kind of keep in mind there. And then when we look at some of these totals, most of the money usually comes in on overs. That's what most people like to play. It's more fun to play them. There's a few games here, well, more fun until they lose or you don't see any points. But a few games that I want to point out that are seeing a substantial amount of money on the under as opposed to the over. Chargers and Steelers, about 63% of the money on the under, but it's already moved 3 points all the way down to 35.5. So if you like the under, you got to wonder, is it a little bit too late? That's I know that I don't expect a lot of points in this game, but that's an extremely low number. Giants and Browns, about 75% of the money's on the under. That dropped from 39.5 to 38.5. And Dolphins and Seahawks, obviously, Tua is going on the IR. Total dropped a little bit from 42 to 41. It's about 66% of the money on the under in that one. Ravens and Cowboys, about 57% of the money's on the under. More of the tickets are on the over. Although even though a little bit more money on the under, that total's still going up. Went up from 47 to 48.5. I actually do like the over in that game. I know it's high, but I do like the over in the game between the Ravens and the Cowboys. And we are seeing a lot of under money coming in, but also a lot of movement already. 49ers and Rams. You could have got it at 46.5, now all the way down to 43. Those are some of the games where most of the money is really coming in on the unders, and just to look at some of the early lines. And also who some of our hottest handicappers are. Mark Lawrence and Rob Vincelletti. Perfect weeks last week. You can check out the leaderboard, any capper that you want, whoever you use, 40% off on the promo code. I still am going to have some best bets, of course, always going. If you want to go ahead and lock in anything, you can use that 40% off promo code on myself as well. As always, God bless, good luck, and let me know as we do something a little bit different here, pointing out who the hot handicappers are in the early line movements. Is this something that you'd be interested in me doing more videos on in the future, or is it a pass for you? Either way, it's all good. I appreciate the comments and the feedback. Let's have a great day.